Hey there friends, today I'm going to be doing some Project Castaway. I'm going to be showing a different way to start up that is not traditional. It is going to probably take a little bit of time. It involves a lot of swimming, and you can potentially start the game with a valve and one of the relics before you pick your island to choose from. But unfortunately, it does involve a lot of swimming, and this may take a little bit of time, so if you feel that you need to fast forward during the parts where I am swimming to get to my
This is
location,
James Alaberry.
feel free to do so.
I'm recording this in the middle
or if
of
you
a
just want to
storm,
hang out
one that came
while I
out of
swim
nowhere.
and
My
listen to
plane's
me,
instruments are
ramble,
failing.
you can also
Radio,
do that as well.
communications,
But do remember,
GPS,
you can like
all
and
gone.
subscribe if you like
But
how
if
I set
anyone
this
finds
up. It
this,
does take a
I need you to
little
know
bit,
why I'm here.
but I'm kind of wanting to
I'm
set up
searching for my uncle,
my
Seamus
ultimate goal
Alaberry.
is to see if I can
He
go
was
grab
more than
these,
just
the
family.
valve and the relic
He was
before
my
the game
hero.
starts. And
He worked as an
hopefully,
on-site researcher and
swim over to Big
archaeologist for
Plain
Morton
Island
Pole Inc.,
and
a company
start
with a reputation that's as murky as the
a
waters
base
we're
there.
flying over.
I would
The
probably
last
stop
time we
this
spoke,
video
he
as
told me
soon
he
as I
was
get
heading to
Big
the
Plain
site of the
Island, or
legendary
after I
Golden
set up a
Horizon,
small setup
a
at
place
Big
that's
Plain Island.
shrouded in mystery and danger.
But that is my ultimate
I begged him
goal,
not to go, but he
because
felt
once
he
I
had
get
no
there,
choice.
I have two different
My mother
videos
is sick,
that I want to
and my father's been
eventually
gone for
branch off
years.
from doing.
I think Uncle Seamus took that
starting
job
on that
because he
island.
felt responsible,
So again,
like he had to
thank
take
you
care of
everybody.
us.
I appreciate all the support.
But now he's been missing for 14 months, and Morton Pole's giving me the runaround. The police have been no help either,
end up liking
so I've
what I am
decided to
trying
take
to
matters
do
into
with
my
this
own
video,
hands.
or
I found a
with
set
this
of coordinates
video
in his
as I
home
branch it
office,
off into two
clues
other
to where he
videos
might have
from
gone.
the start here.
My plan was to start in the Caribbean and work my way to the Pacific. But now, I'm not so sure I'll make it. If this is the end for me, please, let it be known that Seamus Alaberry was a good man. He didn't deserve whatever happened to him. And if I don't make it, someone out there, please, continue the search.
So as soon as I crash here, my main objective is going to be swimming over to the tree in the sea. Because when you first start this game, you don't have health and you don't have oxygen. So as you see right now, I don't have health, I don't have oxygen. Sharks aren't going to attack me, so I can pretty much indefinitely swim in the ocean. So I want to stick my head up, look around, and see what I can see. Basically, I need to get out of here and just swim with the hope of seeing the island I want to get to. I was trying to see if maybe I could stand on the plane to get a little bit of a better perspective out here to see over some of these waves. Okay, so that is SOS Island there. And unfortunately, the small island that I want to go to is probably going to be far away. Because what I am looking for is the location of Big Plain Island, and then I am looking for the location of the Island of Islands, or multi-island, or whatever you prefer to call it. And so yeah, this whole first part is just a bunch of me going in and out of the water and going to be doing some swimming until I find what I'm looking for. Because right now in the game, you are kind of pretty much invincible. The sharks ain't going to mess with you. You don't have air, you don't have health, you don't have thirst or hunger. So you're really just a swimmer. But as soon as you touch land is when the game starts, and then you have to deal with health and all those other fun bits. So I'm imagining anything you do beforehand, you're pretty much safe. I said, I don't want to step foot on land. I was going to also see about going down and visiting the pirate ship as well before I make my way to the islands I'm trying to get to. And if this works like I'm planning, I should maybe start with a decent tool, or maybe even a couple tools. And then start with a relic and a valve. But it does take a while to get this set up. I mean, I'm not going to lie on that. Which is why I'm pretty much trying to get it done and get it set up in one spot. And then make a save for it, and then just make games off of that save, or make two different like series, I guess, off of that save. Is what my goal is. And one of them is going to be rather unique, so I don't want to give away what I am doing yet until I start to do it, obviously, but it will be unique. So, you know, if you subscribe, you will likely see it come up here in the time to come here, whether it be a few days or a few weeks. It just depends on how fast I get into continuing my experimental project with it. I already did some testing on it. It seemed to work out pretty well. Okay, so that is the Arch Island. We're not going there. Like I said, I'm just taking a really good swim around the island here and trying to find where everything is at. So here's the pirate ship. And as you can see, I don't have to worry about my air or anything, so I'm just going to try to see if some of the items that spawn outside the boat are already here. Probably not, but it's worth a look, right? Because sometimes items will spawn outside this boat. In which they have not spawned in yet, so can't do nothing with that. That is pretty neat though. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Why not? Okay, let's get back to what we were doing. Like I said, I thought maybe there might have been some tools on the outside of that. It would have been nice to start some tools with some silver or gold tools, but that was not the case. So that is Arch Island there. That is Lagoon Island there. And is this island here the one I'm looking for? It'd be nice if I could see over these choppy waves, but the storm is really making it difficult. So there is Big Plain Island. Where all of this mayhem's going to start. So if Malta Island and Big Plain are right next to each other, that's going to be ideal for what I want to do. Because that's where I want to initially land, is on Big Plain Island and start the game. I'm not 100% sure here on... It's really hard to get a good perspective here fighting all these waves. I'm hoping this is Malta Island right next to it. If not, then I slam out here for nothing. But again, I'm not on the survival part of what's going on yet. Okay, so that is definitely the island of islands, or multi-island, whichever way you want to refer to it as. I personally like to call it island of islands just because of all the little bit of waterways in between it. It's just like a little cluster of islands together. So the first thing I want to do, since in my case they happen to spawn right next to one another, which is excellent. Granted, it was on the other side of from the starting point. But I want to make my home landing base on Big Plain Island. So all I'm doing now is swimming around until I get to this tree here. And see if I can take care of this tree part before I even start the game. Because if I can grab the stuff before I have you know, to breathe and have to worry about the sharks, this is just one less spot in the game that you just don't have to deal with. So this is kind of one of my tricky, glitchy starts that I've seen that you can do. Fortunately, it is dark, which is going to make it just a pinch harder to see. Okay, and as I swam down, there is the valve right there, or was right there. Yeah, right there. So there's a valve right there, right up the gate, before we even start. So I'll definitely collect that, so that's one less thing I have to worry about here. And then here is one of the relics right here. So I want to go ahead and grab that. So which is great right now because I don't have, like I said, I don't have any kind of meters or anything to worry about. It just was a hell of a swim. And like I said, the sharks don't bother me. So now I am just going to swim back up. Okay, which puts me back out here to the tree. I don't want to step on the tree, obviously. I don't want it to think that I have started the game yet. I mean, I have, but I haven't. I've just taken advantage of the fact that I can swim indefinitely here. And then I'm going to make my landfall here on Big Plain Island and work from there because there is a mass amount of wood. I kind of want to do a playthrough. One with an experimental test that I got going on to see if it'll work, and I need the ton of wood for that. And the other is I want to build a play with building a pretty good sized building, you know, to have in the house, you know, have a house. So needing a ton of wood is going to be definitely on the to-do list for that. Like I said, this does take just a moment to get started. It does take a little bit longer, but as you see, I've already gotten one of the relics and one of the valves of the 3 valves already taken care of. I don't have to worry about having to go down there again. That part of the game is now done, which saves you from having to make the shark repellent later, and then having to deal with having a breath and only having maybe about 10 seconds down there. By the time you make the dive down and make the dive back, you don't have a lot of time to look around down there. And so if that valve, like you've seen when I first seen it, it wanted to move. If that valve decides it wants to move or bounce around a little bit, or kind of slide down that hill or tuck itself in by the car, then you got more problems. Now granted, I am starting on an island that does have probably the most predators as far as the Komodo dragons, and as far as not only the Komodo dragons, but it also has a cat. Now the cat generally stays by the plane, but there we have it. So that is the start and where we're at. I am starting the game very thirsty. So obviously right out the gate, we're going to need to do the essentials. Oh, and here, now there is the relic. I was trying to pick up the rock, but I forgot I was holding the relic still. Gonna need those to get started here. And the gold cup, I guess I can take it with me. I do need to pick up just a couple essential items here and get some water and stuff going. Since this is my home island, I'm not too crazy worried about some of the side items and stuff. Just yet, because I will have a lot of time on this island. And I'm not really worried about trying to finish the game so much. I'm going to work on collecting the things to finish the game, but it is not going to be super high on my priorities list. So I'm just going around trying to collect a couple of these smaller items that I need. Especially the sticks to build some weapons and get myself started here. I'm thinking I'm wanting to build a home base right here in this area maybe. It's looking pretty good. So I'm going to take this and just set it right here by this rock for right now. And I need to get into my crafting screen and get my initial stuff that I'm gonna need here to work with. And I know right out the gate I need to get some water going. So I need to acquire some coconuts here. Like I say, I've already covered the part about quick starting here and getting yourself and how to start off with 2 items real quick that give you a little boost in the game and something you're not going to have to worry about later. And you can see I got the valve right there. So that's one less thing I will have to worry about. Now this is my first time trying to start the game from this island. The whole everything here is just kind of experimental for me. I usually start on Radio Tower Island. So and like I said, one of the things I'm going to be doing is a challenge, and I'm not going to really disclose what I'm going to do until I start it. I do believe it is going to take a lot of time. to complete that challenge that I have in mind. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to definitely test some of the dynamics of the game. From what I did in testing, it looks like I can definitely do it, but I just need a lot of wood. And then this island here, I will essentially be clear cutting to build a mansion type base. I don't want to build it where I start off up here, but I do want to build it pretty largely, like, I'm thinking probably right through here is going to be best. Just build a ginormous home right there. And then just have more of a decorative, how I want it to look. Kind of go above and beyond. Like I said, there is ample trees on this island, and I want to take advantage of all of them. But I do need to keep on a lookout for the predators. There's I think like 2 or 3 Komodo dragons on this island, as well as a large cat. So getting myself a base basically set up right away, and someplace I can save would be very ideal, because I want to make that the save point for, you know, to branch off on two different playthroughs here. Excuse me. So I'm just trying to collect ample materials to start with. Because I know I'm going to need a handful of things here to work with. And I will be coming back to get those large sticks and stuff. I'm just not to that point yet. Like I said, right this very moment, I am pretty focused on just having the basic stuff here to get a little bit of a foundation started and a little bit of a shelter going. So maybe like the first room of my many rooms that I plan to build in this large home. I'm debating whether or not I want to do it log cabin style, or if I want to do it all in palm fronds, because I will have a lot of them. Okay, so I have a little bit of stuff to work with here. I do have my hammer. Now I just need to decide where I'm going to start my home at. So I'm thinking I'm going to start building it right in this area, So basically right on this corner is what I am going to look to be doing. Okay. So right about this height. Right there. And that looks like it's going about where I want it to go. Okay, let's get that part of it put together before we go too crazy here. And alright, so one of the very first things I want to get started is this disassembly table. And I'm actually going to be looking at trying to make this a porch right here, and then the entrance probably going to be right here or right here to go into the actual home. So I have stuff that will be on the outside and on the inside, and trying to actually just make the whole thing to where I have all my tools on and like my benches and stuff where I can work on them. I definitely want this disassembly table. I don't want to be using excess materials because this is going to be a material costly adventure. And until I get blueprint tools, I'm going to have to make a lot of use of that disassembly table. And it probably wouldn't hurt if I do get a hold of some granite or something to that nature so that I can make better axes and kind of upgrade my axes as I go. Not really quite at that part yet, but it's definitely in the to-do list coming up. And I do have my temperature I need to worry about from exposure, so I need to take care of that immediately too. Okay, so let's get into this building menu some more. Let's get into the right menu. Okay, so do I want to do wood walls or palm frond walls is the question. I think we're going to do wood walls. It's going to be a ton of wood hauling in this episode. Get a doorway. And let's get a roof over at least a little bit of it here. Door in. Okay, and then I want to get a cooking barrel. If I remember where it was, I'm having a little bit of a brain fart there. And I'm going to put a cooking barrel over here in this corner. Okay, so we got that there. So we need 2 metal sheets, a metal barrel, because my temperature is starting to get a little on the low side, so I definitely want to do something about that before it becomes a issue or it starts raining on me and I don't have the opportunity. there's another relic right here. The rocking horse. So we're not doing bad. We've already got 2 relics. And one of the valves. I'm just trying to gather all the stuff out of the water right here. Because once I turn around and walk away from it, the chance of me losing where it was is fairly good. We got a nice little pile of supplies and stuff to tinker with. Obviously, I will be needing some stairs at one point to make my life a little easier here. So we got 4 metal barrels right out the gate. We need 2 metal sheets. And some small sticks. And that is not what I wanted. I did not want it to start raining yet. Okay, looks like I need to get back into working on finishing up building the home. Because I need to get it so that it has a roof. Because my temperature at 94 degrees, it will kill me. And normally you're supposed to be at 98.8, so I am starting to lose some temp. Because if I can at least get a shelter, some kind of roof over my head, and build a small, just build a temporary bed to get some sleep and save, that would be ideal. Actually, I'm going to take a quick second and grab one of these coconuts and give my guy just a half a moment here to gain a little bit of stamina back so I can cut this tree down. But I'm pretty much going to be, from the way it looks, deforesting this whole island. In both of these series that I'm going to branch off of this. Because as soon as I get this little bit of roof done and that stove put together, I will be working on getting... I will be working on putting a bed down so I can save. And then I will be branching off my 2 different objectives of the game from there. One objective of the game, it's the likelihood of my hut getting bigger is 0. It's probably going to be very small, very quaint. I'm not really looking to. I won't be looking to finish the game, so to say. It's got a different gist behind it, but it's something I definitely want to try. Getting this stuff done before it rains again is going to be ideal. I spent a lot of time swimming, so I did miss out on a lot of build time before that first rain. And I've already got a bunch of palm fronds over there. I can whip up a bed really quick, so I'm not really too worried about the sleep thing just yet. But it is really hurting me on my stamina. And all these little trees, they will be coming into play later. Okay, so I do have some kind of temporary place to sleep. Just a moment here. I'm going to make just a palm frond bed right next to it. A little campfire here. I need one more small stick and I can make a fire. You know what? I'm just going to take this and go break the sticks down, and then I'll have small sticks. And then I don't know if you can build stairs in the back that'll be big enough to go all the way down when you get farther out. Okay, so that is done. And then I have all these right there. Wonder if I can put it through the wall. Okay. So this is just my preliminary startup. On just a different way to get started, and you already start with having some nice items such as the valve and the golden cup. So these items are already taken off of the list of things that you need to get. And I'm just going to actually stack them right out here for right now, because I got that, and I also have the horse over here, the rocking horse. So that too can come up here. And I'm just going to set that right here for right now. Well, it's actually going to probably be in my way right there. I should probably put it over here, because I'm going to be going back and forth to that table. Because I do want to keep my stone hammer and my stone axe in good shape. My stone axe right now is going to be needing a lot of repairs until I can come across better materials. I do believe there's granite on this island. I just need to go over and get it. So I do want to hop out of the rain, and I want to get by the fire here. And I wanted to get this over the fire so that now I can at least cook some food if I catch it. Or I can use it to boil water or make coffees or lemongrasses, and basically start my farm and stuff and do all that fun stuff. And I just have at least a tiny piece of shelter to work with, and go from there. Okay, so my character is warmed up. I do want to munch on another one of these coconuts. I'm kind of surviving on them right now. And then I'm going to go and take a nap. Do about 7 hours. It won't totally fill my energy up, but it will help a lot, for a little bit anyway. And then I'm going to make a new save, which is basically going to be my base save that I'm going to use for 2 different ones. Now in this version here, it was the one that I played on version 1.5 to 1.49 to 1.5. It changed during my play. I went all the way through the game on my channel, and I'll be starting, different from there. This video that I just made is just going to be basically the a really different way to start that's pretty good. So again, I want to thank everybody that's been watching for the likes, the subscriptions. But yeah, this is just going to be the start to a total different play, and hopefully it helps you out. Maybe you will decide to maybe do the same as far as visiting that small tree, the tree in the sea, and then picking a different island to start on. My objective was just the amount of vast resources of wood on this island. I wanted to try it and be here, and then just build a pretty good establishment I don't know how big I'm going to build this place, but I might take this out about 2 or 3 more, and then probably take this out about 4 or 5 more, maybe build the second floor on it. You know, we're talking a pretty big place. I don't know if I'm going to use wood for all of it. I might use wood for the first floor and palm fronds for the second floor. I don't know yet, but as of right now, this is just like I said, a different start. And you get to start with a relic, you get to start with the valve, and you can't really beat that. Speaking of the valve, I want to put that right there, along with that orange juice. And I'm going to store just a little bit of cloth here for right now. I do have a problem with getting too much cloth in the game, and it ends up everywhere. But I just want to keep a couple items for right now, right here, until I get some storage and stuff going, and can work with that later. So again, thank you everybody. I really appreciate all the support. And you know what? I will be seeing you on the next one when this branches off in 2 different ways. So thanks again, and see you then.